My name is Steve Piltz. I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service office here in Tulsa. We're located here on the east side of Tulsa. There's 25 staff members here. We're a mix of meteorologists, IT specialists, we have electronic specialists and administrative staff all working together to try to provide the best information, especially during severe weather, which is very important to us now because we're headed right into the middle of severe weather season. Primary advances in technology, really severe weather-wise, have been the continued use and the continued expansion of the radar technology. We've had Doppler radar now for a number of years, but we're looking at changing the technology here in the next year or two, where we'll be using what's called dual polarization radars, where we'll actually change the radar beam every pulse. And by changing the beam every pulse, we'll be able to determine what type of precipitation is falling. And that'll be really important for both measuring the rainfall rates in the area and also telling us where some of the large hail is falling. Other technology has just been the continued increase in communications power and computer technology. 20 years ago, we relied heavily on amateur radio operators, and we still do, but now we have, you fold in the internet now where we can talk over large areas, and just this last week we started a Facebook page here at the Tulsa Weather Office. Well, our Facebook page, for one, is not really meant to be a source of warning. It's meant to be kind of used in the heads-up phase to let people know that the weather is changing, maybe there's some hazardous weather coming. Also a way maybe to let the public see a little bit behind the scenes on some of the decisions we're making and some of the information that we're gathering. So it'll be a good place for people to come and kind of watch before and after storms. After we have severe weather, we'll have a lot of information out there about what impacts there were in the region. But again, don't use that for your warning. You still want to be connected into a live stream of data, whether that's radio, television, NOAA weather radio, the normal things you think of this time of year. There is another piece of technology that's really interesting here that's evolved in probably the last 5 or 10 years. And it involves the internet, but it's the ability to track people with their cell phones through the internet. Storm spotters out there now, we can see them on our computer screens. If they activate certain applications, we can actually watch their position update every minute or two. And so, having those eyes out there are great. And now it's not just relegated to just the amateur radio operators, but folks with cell phones that can access the internet. They can not only call in and provide information, but we can actually track those individuals as well as the ham radio operators on a map, and it makes a really neat display for us to see where the people are looking at the storms as we plot them live on the radar screen. The biggest jump in radar technology may be about another 8 years away. At least that's what we hear now. It's what's called phased array radar technology. It's similar to the radar technology that's used in the military, especially on the missile cruisers, where they can have multiple radar beams coming out of the same radar system. And what that will allow us to do in the weather world is to be able to maybe break off a piece of the radar beam and continuously scan a certain storm that we're really concerned about while the other beam continues to work the rest of the area. So what we do now is we almost work like a CAT scan, where the radar scans the lowest levels, moves up a little bit, scans again, moves up a little bit, and we develop slices. With this phased array radar technology, we think we'll be able to scan the entire atmosphere probably within 60 seconds. And so instead of seeing an update every 5 minutes on certain levels, we'll see them maybe every minute, maybe even every 30 seconds if it works out the way we think. Well, today being a severe weather day for the area, we've started off with posting a lot of information to our webpage. We've also posted some information to our Facebook page. We've just completed a multimedia briefing where we've put together basically a voiceover PowerPoint slides, and we load that to our webpage so that the meteorologists can actually speak a little bit about some of the particulars and maybe some of the uncertainty. Of course, there's been tornado damage in the state from the last week, and we've talked to the state of Oklahoma already this morning, briefing them about what the recovery workers in certain areas might need to be aware of here later today so that they can be safe, because you have a lot of folks out in the field right now trying to help those that were impacted last week, and they're vulnerable in the weather, so they have to keep abreast of what's going on. So we've done all those things so far this morning. And starting even a day or so before the storms, we'll interact heavily with the local media, especially the TV station meteorologists. We even have an instant messaging capability between the stations and here at the Weather Service. And so just as soon as we know something, we'll instant message that out. They will do the same with us. And really with all the storm chasers that all the media has out there, that's just that many more sets of eyes and more pieces of way to get information flowing back into the weather office. And by having that instant messaging set up between us all, we can communicate very quickly and stay on the same page. Well, historically, of course, eastern Oklahoma is one of the hot spots for severe weather when you look at the country or even the world. A lot of severe weather warnings issued in this neck of the woods, but we've done something in the last 2 years to really kind of hone down on the most important storms and maybe change what people used to have over the decades of kind of almost what we would call warning fatigue. We raised the hail criteria in the last couple of years, and we used to issue severe thunderstorm warnings when we had dime-size hail, which would be 3/4 of an inch. We raised that to quarter size hail, which is 1 inch, and so now we've seen a cutback of about 50% of our warnings. And so what you might have thought of 5 years ago as just another one of those severe thunderstorm warnings, they're a little bit more important now. They're going to be more of an impact from those storms, and so really the caution would be there. Pay attention to severe thunderstorm warnings. They've changed a little bit in the last couple of years, and when you're under one now, the potential is there that maybe not you, but someone very close to you is going to have a pretty significant impact.